The Fanatec V3 pedal set has been in the market for a while now. It represents the best pedal offering in the Fanatec roster. I've been rocking the Fanatec CSL Elites for quite a while. I've spoken very highly of them due to the price and features. I wasn't dissatisfied with them, but I think it was worthwhile to get the V3s and create a review on them. So I splashed the Dosh to truly test them for over the course of 3 months to see if it's worthwhile over the CSL. First of all, a big thank you to all of the viewers. It's only through your support, your views, and your generous donations that these reviews are possible. But also a bit of the disclaimer here. Even though I purchased the pedal set and the upgrades, what happened is I have an affiliate link below, so that means if you decide to buy some Fanatec equipment through that affiliate link, I will be financially compensated. I will keep my impartiality as much as I can, but please take this review with a grain of salt. I've been a user of Fanatec pedals for almost 10 years now. My first pedal set were the Fanatec CSRs. They were showing its age, so I bought the CSL to replace them, but the Fanatec CSR customizability was something that hugely impressed me, and it was with that in mind that I bought the V3s. But there's almost 6 years of difference between the CSRs and the V3s, so there are some substantial differences. First of all, a bit of specs. The V3s have a CNC metal build. They are almost fully adjustable. There are Hall sensors on the throttle and clutch pedals. They are at 12-bit resolution. The throttle comes with another stiffer spring as well as the clutch. The brake pedal has a 90 kilo adjustable load cell at 12-bit resolution. If you connect through the wheelbase, it will maintain the 12-bit. The pedals are adjustable in terms of strength, angle, and preload. It has vibration motors in both the throttle and brake. They can be connected through USB or through the wheelbase, making it compatible with all current platforms, and it comes with an extra set of pedal plates. It comes at the price of €359.95 or US dollars, 43,000 yen, or 550 of those upside down dollars. Price-wise, they're sitting in a quite comfortable position. They're about 120 euros or dollars more expensive than the CSL, so they're about almost 50% to 70% of the price, but they're around $300 cheaper than a Euxinveld pedal set, which are, in my opinion, very fantastic pedals. But because of that, they are sitting in almost a no man's land where there's no competition against them. Because it sits somewhat alone in that price bracket of $360 to $390, they tend to be extremely popular. They are very much customizable, and they have a few options. Some of the options are upgrades that you can purchase. One of them is the brake performance kit, which is something essential in my opinion, and the other one is the damper set, which you can use on the throttle or brake or both if you buy 2 sets. In terms of construction, the V3s are very well assembled. They are super strong, super sturdy, very, very thick, and good metal assembly. I really like the details. They chosen this color palette of black with these milled areas over here and polish, very high polish, very nice, including on the faces. The pedal faces themselves, you can change to another set. And as you can see here, this is an upgraded piece. It has the damper installed. I purchased this separately, but if you want to change and do some upgrades on it from the stock, you can do it because it does come with a set of springs. This is the throttle spring. It's quite soft, so it came with the black one, which was upgraded on a throttle. For the clutch, I kept it stock, but it does come with the stiffer clutch spring. Normally there's not much to tell about the throttle actuation. Normally it's just super linear, and this one isn't an exception, of course, with the damper over here. Now for the brake pedal, this one has a story to tell. Even at stock format, it does come with this knob that will allow you to change how much the preload compresses the inside rubber. The rubber is on the inside, and you can change them to a brake performance kit. As for clutch actuation, this is the type that tries to mimic clutch forks, so it doesn't feel that you can move it and then just moves it all together. It's not a linear actuation, so you won't be feeling a linear actuation. It's more of a on and off type of switch that you will try to balance it when it's more over here. When you try to do some clutch starts, it's more difficult than a linear one, but I guess over the time you'll be getting used to it. If I were to choose it for myself, I would prefer a linear one. The pedals from stock come with vibration motors, so it comes with vibration motors on the throttle and on the clutch. For the throttle, because I have the damper, I had to invert it. It's very easy to do. And for the brake, you would have to do exactly the same thing. It's not very hard to do. It just takes 1 minute or two to invert the bolt. The way they work, it's when you have a tire slip on the throttle, you'll feel it on the vibration motor. And with the brake, it's when you lock the tires or when you have the ABS kicking. Continuing with the customizability of the stock V3s, out of the box, they come with these separate D-shaped pedal sets, which come with this extension that can be changed on the pivot point. This can be also mixed and matched with anything you see here. So, for example, if you want to use the regular pedal faces on this extension, you can do so by removing it. It's super simple. There's just some few bolts over here. There are also some extensions over here on this part. It looks like a metal block because it is essentially just a metal block. You can mix and match this with the D-shaped pedals or not. It's whatever suits you. For me personally, this is the most comfortable I can get. But for some of you and for a lot of people, the D-shaped are super, super popular. Sadly, they are made of plastic and not metal like these amazing faces, but I guess they will last a little bit. The V3s, like I said, they are customizable, not in terms of just the pedal faces, but also from the options that you can buy on the store. I have it installed both the brake performance kit on the brake and also the dampener. What I'm going to say about the brake performance kit will sound self-serving because I do have the affiliate link, but let me tell you that if you are going to buy this pedal set, you need to get the V3 brake performance kit. Not so much the damper. In reality, for me, this is completely passable, but there are a couple of reasons. The first reason is monetary. These are 30 pounds and they'll offer you better braking performance. And if you buy them separately, you'll have to pay that much or even more in terms of postage. So might as well just buy them together and just pay the postage once. The second reason is more practical, and it's because of the brake rubbers. These are the stock brake rubbers. They look more like foams. I've had these similar on the CSR and they are not good at all. They're very, very mushy. You are going to overpower these very easily. And from stock, the V3s are awful, in my opinion, in terms of the braking performance. If you get the Club Sport braking performance kit, you do have a set of options. It comes with the stiffer green ones and the softer reds, and you can mix and match. There are 13 and 12 millimeter on each side. The 12s are softer than the 13s, and also comes with the lithium grease and the tool. The installation is not that difficult. You just need to undo a small screw. You need to take out a... In terms of the damper, in my opinion, it's really not that worthwhile. It's completely passable, like I've stated. In terms of the damper itself, like I've said, it's completely passable and you wouldn't miss it if you didn't buy it. I bought it, wouldn't miss it. I'm just gonna leave it here because I bought it, and there is a way that it can make it the throttle pedal actually feel nice. In terms of the brake pedal, using it there, it's not good at all. What the damper does is basically reduce the acceleration of your brake or throttle movement or your foot movement, and it just makes it really, really aggravating for me. So what I ended up doing is putting it on the throttle, reduce the dampener effect to almost a minimum, to 1, which is one of the lowest settings, and also reduce the preload over here at the dampener, which works more or less like a shock in a car. And what it does is create a more or less of a stabilizing effect, so we don't fluctuate much on your throttle input. If you want to leave it at a certain threshold of your throttle, it wouldn't move much up and down. Without that, it will fluctuate just a little more, but honestly, that is not translated in a better driving. And in terms of immersion, you could say that it doesn't do that much. The first thing you need to be doing after installing the mods, and I had to redo the mod for this video, is to make sure that you have your calibration okay. In this case, the throttle doesn't go up, and the brake also, in this case, it doesn't go up to the max. So we're going to start with the throttle. We're going to start with the throttle. We're going to max out the throttle and then set at maximum. And then we're going to have a maximum movement. One thing that you can do is going to just below the maximum like that and press set maximum, so you can actually have like a full movement up to the top. If there's a small dead zone that might appear, it will disappear automatically. And you can do the same at the minimum. Now for the brake, same thing. Press the maximum, set max, and done. Try again. Done. This part is done. What you can also do in the software, if you remove the manual mode, is to change your force on the brake, make it easier to activate. See, this doesn't move as much, or make it harder to activate. Over here, I'm really pressing, and I'm not going all the way. So in my case, I do prefer it to have in this manual mode at around 70-ish, which is for me the perfect break point. My first contact with the V3s was at Sim Expo 2019, so years after its release, and I can't really say that I was impressed with the performance or how they felt in your feet when you're braking and throttling up. So I was thinking when I bought these, maybe my experience would be different if I bought them, because when I tried it out, it was in a context of a racing exposition where the pedals need to be used for everyone by everyone, and they need to cater to most people. So I thought I would buy it and it will be different. In reality, it wasn't the case. In reality, it was very much similar to what I have experienced on Sim Racing Expo. The throttle, you could change it. It was soft by stock. You change the throttle spring, and then it would uplift the experience on the throttle. But the brake, it was exactly the same thing. And the reason is very simple. The brake rubber that comes in the pedal set is super mushy. For context, I was coming from a Fanatec CSL, and even from the softest of the rubbers, the 60 Shore, it kind of felt that it had more meat into the brake pedal. The result is a stock braking experience that leaves a lot to be desired. A super mushy brake pedal, very hard to trail brake, very hard to modulate. Maybe it will be good for a lot of people that don't want a brake set that is so hard, but for me it was very hard and completely substandard to use. And as such, this is why I definitely recommend the brake performance kit. Now in terms of use, I use this pedal set quite substantially, including in a couple endurance races. It has seen use in Assetto Corsa Competizione, Dirt Rally 2, and also iRacing, so there is a little bit of everything. With all the changes done, so we're talking about the springs and the brake rubbers, the experience is very much uplifted with just 30 pounds of upgrades. The brake is very much improved. It allows you to trail brake. The PU foam does help a lot. It's not the same thing as the CSL. If you have a CSL pedal set, you'll understand that the foam is super soft. I enjoy that. It's going to take a while for the V3 PU foam to be at that level, and definitely the stiffer from stock rubber rods help with modulating the brake and understanding where you need to put your brake point and everything else. And in terms of braking experience, I feel very confident in braking with the V3s, with a notable exception with iRacing, where I can't brake to save my life. I've tried a bit of everything, and iRacing is just the exception. It's something that I need to learn. As for the damper is at most okay, especially at the price. It becomes a little less than okay. It is a gimmick for me. It's definitely a gimmick. It allows at most in the throttle, not on the brake, it allows at most to avoid the throttle fluctuations if you want to really keep your foot planted and the throttle is not moving up and down. And that is only if you use it, at least for me, in very low dampening rates. If you try to do something that is very hard dampening, you're going to have like a very hard time accelerating. It's not the same as a spring, it's just the acceleration that you can put on the brake or the throttle, it just reduces so much no matter how much force you put behind it. With all of these changes with the throttle and the brake and all the springs and, you know, modifying a little bit and customizing a little bit the V3s as you wanted, my first experience from the Sim Racing Expo was totally changed for the better. As for conclusions, the Fanatec V3s are an excellent pedal set at a price point that will make you think that if you should skip the Fanatec CSL load cells, it's a super customizable pedal set. It's very sturdy. It doesn't flex, at least didn't flex with me. There are a few things that are gimmicky there. The dampers, like I said, and in my opinion, also the vibration motors. If those weren't there, I wouldn't miss them. But if you're going to buy this, buy the brake pedal kit. Otherwise, you might feel a little bit disappointed on how mushy that rubber is. Besides the build quality, Fanatec also has chosen Hall sensors, so it will give you a little more longevity than, for example, the Fanatec CSLs. But very much like the Fanatec CSR Evolved, it's in the customizability where this pedal set has won me over. Being able to change the throttle preload, changing the springs if you want something stiffer, and also the relationship of each pedal face to the other is something that I appreciate quite a lot. I believe the V3s to be a great pedal set and maybe even worthwhile over the Fanatec CSL load cells if you are looking for customizability, but the comparison video will be coming in the near future. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed and you found this informative. Tell me in the comments what you think about this pedal set and what are your experiences with it. If you want to see more of these videos, the best way is to press like, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you'll see new videos and streams as they come out. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you next time.